Hello everyone, welcome to A Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. Well, we're just now getting this finished up here. The rest of that field has been planted in the corn, the rest of field 6, and they're just finishing up here weeding around these onions. Now the plastic did come today. It's a much wider plastic, and kind of sort of looking forward to using that. Man, we got behind on these weeds here. I don't know. We may have to hire an additional someone for a couple weeks to get all caught up on this. Not only to get this weeding caught up, but to get these fields planted. Because I want this stuff done, because we've got another Mindanao surprise that we're working on, and I want these fields done. I'm going to come down tomorrow and spray this corn. It's so high that the girls aren't wanting to do it because they're afraid that the corn is so tall that the girls don't want to do it because they don't want the blowback from the spray to get on them, get in their faces. And that corn is about 5 feet tall, so it's as tall as they are. To spray all around in it, it'll get on them. So it's fallen to me to do it. I just want to get this field here done. Progress. Very slow progress because of all the rain last week. Now, we haven't had any rain per se today, but there is a little sprinkle. Just started, and you can see it's cloudy and overcast. Mike is saying he's going to be the sunshine fairy, and he'll keep us from getting rain every day. I remain to be convinced, but it is what it is. We've got to get these fields planted, and I'll talk to Marcel about an additional employee for at least for a week, maybe even 2, just to get caught up and moving forward at a pace that I'm comfortable with. Just get caught up from all the days that we've lost because of the weather. Because we've got these 3 fields here that need to be planted before we have to go in and mow everything again, and we just set back that much further again. So stay tuned, everyone. Also, I've kind of come to the conclusion we didn't move enough dirt into this field. Probably we'll use a crew of a couple guys for a day or 2 just to bring a little bit more dirt. Some of the rows down on that end need to be straightened and definitely need more dirt in them. So we're going to do what we got to do. I want this right. I want it done right rather than just done. Alright, I thought I'd throw this in. This plastic came yesterday, and we will begin to use this probably sometime later this week in field 3. Everything else has already been planted in field 6, so we won't be using it there. This is a much wider plastic than we had before. I'm trying to get back here to get it all in the viewfinder here. This is a 4 foot wide, the 4 foot width. Before we were using a 2.5, which seemed wide, but when we actually got it down onto the raised beds, it just wasn't wide enough. This will cover more down into the bottoms of the ditches and just block out that much more of the weeds. It'll be easier to secure down. It's the same thing, black on one side, silver on the other. I can tell by feeling it, it's the same thickness. So it's the same as we had before, it's just wider. And I think, especially because the raised beds are a bit wider in field 3, and they'll be a bit wider moving forward than what we had before, I think this will be much better overall. And this, you know, it depends, but I think this will be the size that we're going to use moving forward. So stay tuned, big things on the horizons. And this was, I'm trying to remember the cost. This was, well, it was 3.7, round number, for these 2 rolls delivered. So it's about 1,850 pesos each delivered, which is still cheaper than the 2,700 that we can get it for locally here, and it's cheaper to get it delivered. And while this weed barrier isn't cheap, I mean, one of these rolls is almost a week's worth of labor to have the weeds removed. But it's not just the it's not the only factor in using this is not just the labor savings, it's the time savings, and not having to hire more people just to keep up with the weeds, because Consing and Ippy, that would be their full-time job, and they could never get anything else done if it just pulling the weeds. So having this weed barrier down in all the fields eventually will lighten their load enough to where all they have to do is do a little bit of occasional weeding, where this doesn't get the job totally done, but they'll be able to do much more in field prep, replanting, taking out things that are at the end of their growing life, and just keeping things moving forward. Whereas what we've been doing, we just can't get caught up with the amount of manpower that we have now, because we have so much weeding that needs to be done on a continual basis. So we're hoping this will alleviate our problems. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.